Hey guys, today we are going to be finishing up our notes for this chapter. So today we're going to be going over section 3 and section 4. So just like you did yesterday on your notes sections, make sure that you have your notes page pulled up that is located right underneath this video where you got it on your assignment for today. Pull that up and you're going to be filling in the blanks as we're going through these slides. These slides should match exactly what it says in each section of your notes today. So make sure you're following along. If you need to pause this video to write certain things down or to fill in blanks, or if you want to rewatch this video a couple times, that is perfectly fine. Do what you need to do. Go at your own speed. But we're going to be going through these. If you have any questions after you watch this video, make sure to send me an email or a message on Canvas. So let's go ahead and get started. The Holy Land. The Israelites established the Kingdom of Israel in 1000 BC. We talked about the Israelites last semester a little bit when we were studying Jewish culture and Christian culture. The Israelites play a significant role in both the Quran and the Bible that we studied a little bit last semester as well. It's a very known city for a lot of these religions and cultures. Many people visit Israel to kind of walk the path that the Israelites took and to see the path that Jesus took as well. Let's keep going. In 60s BC, the Romans conquered the region of Israel. They called it Judea. Romans forced Jews out of the region, and then they called this moving. They called it the diaspora, which means the dispersal of the Jewish population. They then eventually renamed the region and called it Palestine. The Muslims finally then conquered Palestine in the 600s. Christians invaded Palestine several times throughout this few years, and they called this the Crusades. So the Crusades was when the Christians were trying to invade Palestine to take over their land again. They finally captured Jerusalem, which is a big city, in 1099. Palestine became part of the Ottoman Empire. Like you guys know, we talked about the Ottoman Empire several times throughout this chapter. And then after World War I, the Ottoman Empire lost, and the British took control of this region. Israel. We have Zionism. Zionism is a nationalist movement calling for Jews to establish a Jewish state in their ancient homeland. This began in Europe in the late 1800s. So that basically means that Jewish people kind of decided in the 1800s that they wanted to go back to the Holy Land. They wanted to go back to Israel. And so lots of Jewish people moved back there to kind of be with their ancestors in the places their ancestors went. Israel has a prime minister and a parliament called the Knesset. They have a very strong army. At the age of 18, all men and women must serve 1 year in the military. So if you were from Israel, maybe you went and studied somewhere else. I had a friend in high school who was from Israel, and he was a foreign exchange student. And as soon as we graduated high school, because he had turned 18, he didn't get to go straight to college. He automatically had to go straight to the military and spend at least 1 year in the military. They do this to make sure that they have enough people in their military to stay a strong and controlled country. Israel has a modern and diverse economy because of items like these. They have high technology equipment. They have beautifully cut diamonds, irrigated farmland, and tourism has become a very large part of their economy. Because so many people like to come and visit Israel because of their religion and religious factors, it has become a big tourist attraction. People will come and walk the steps of Jesus. They will come and look at some of the artifacts that they've read about in the Bible and the Quran and lots of different other older texts, things like that. Their capital, Jerusalem, is the capital of Israel, and Tel Aviv is another larger city in Israel that people often visit. 80% of Israel's people are Jewish. So if you ever visited Israel, the main religion that you will find there is Judaism. The Jewish culture. We talked about the Jewish culture last semester. Here are just a few of the Jewish holidays: the Sabbath, Yom Kippur, which we talked a lot about, and the Passover. So if you ever go anywhere that to someone's house who is Jewish, maybe you'll go for one of these many celebrations. Jewish laws address all parts of a person's life, including what they eat. Eating kosher, the word kosher means fit in Hebrew. Eating kosher is just terms used for food that are allowed under Jewish dietary laws. This also means when somebody eats kosher, that usually means that they do not eat pork or shellfish. Syria. Damascus is the capital of Syria. It is also the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world, which means it's the oldest city to always have people living in it. It's also a leading trade center, has been a leading trade center for centuries. So this is a place that many people often meet to trade goods and services and things like that. Syria became part of the Ottoman Empire in the late 1500s. Again, we would know that the Ottoman Empire entered into World War I. After World War I, France took control of Syria and this part of the Ottoman Empire. Syria then became independent in the 1940s. Syria was ruled by dictator Hafez al-Assad from 1971 to 2000. After Assad's death, his son Bashar was then elected president. Bashar was very helpful in improving Syria's economy. Syria has a very socialist government. We talked about different forms of government. Think about right now, I want you to take a couple seconds and think about what government do we have. If you need to go back in your book from last semester, that is fine too, but I just want to see if you guys remember. Lebanon. Lebanon was once part of the Ottoman Empire. After World War I, France controlled Lebanon and Syria. Lebanon became independent in the 1940s, similar to Syria. Most Lebanese people speak both Arabic and French. So after the French took control, and then they became independent, and they didn't become independent until the 1940s. So a lot of the people who grew up in Lebanon got used to speaking French because they were controlled by the French people. But they also spoke Arabic. That was their original language when they were part of the Ottoman Empire. So most people were taught to speak both Arabic and French. Most Lebanese are either Muslim or Christian. The Maronites are the largest of the Christian groups in this country. Civil war broke out in the 1970s. It was Muslims versus Christians. So Muslims and several refugees fought on the side of the Muslims, and Christians in other countries around them ended up going into the Civil War until they were pushed out and the Civil War kind of ceased. The war lasted until 1990. Jordan. Jordan was created after World War I. The British controlled the area until they became fully independent in the 1940s. From 1952 to 1999, Jordan was ruled by King Hussein. Amman is the capital of Jordan, and Jordan is dependent on economic aid from oil-rich Arab nations and the United States. So they are a very poor country. They often rely on help financially from several different countries, but especially the United States, just to be able to keep their city safe. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. If you need to go back in this video, if you need to rewatch it a couple of times, if you need to pause it, make sure you do that. Make sure you get those notes filled out. Just to make sure that you guys are watching this video, if you turn in this assignment today, I will give you 5 extra credit points. So as long as you have all of your notes filled out and you turn them in back into this assignment, I will give you 5 extra credit points. So good for those of you who listened throughout the entire video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all very soon.